Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Tuesday, the 11th of February, 2025. So here's the synoptic from yesterday at lunchtime. You can see Lasham was sandwiched between those two occlusions there, giving us quite horrible weather all day long. If we run that through midnight tonight and into lunchtime today, the low pressure has basically moved out off the east coast of sort of Norfolk, Suffolk sort of area, maybe around about Lowestoft way, and it's got this occlusion wrapped right around it, which is morphing into a warm front, which is sat across France. That's going to give us sort of similar weather to yesterday, but perhaps a little bit better conditions. We might actually get something out of today in terms of maybe some launch for your training and poor weather circuits. This is midnight tonight and into lunchtime tomorrow, and we're just a little bit further away from the fronts by tomorrow lunchtime. That might give us something out of the day, but it's not going to be a spectacular day tomorrow. Looking at SatPic, you can see the low pressure out here with the front swirling around it, and you can see that's just to the east of us. As the sun comes up and shines on top of the cloud, you can see the cloud is reasonably widespread and quite thick in places. So looking at the rain radar, you can see the rain that's associated with that low pressure as it hangs around southern Holland. And if we have a look at then the weather forecast or the rain forecast for the rest of the day, it is kind of creeping down towards the M4 corridor and perhaps some bits sneaking further south than that. But it seems to be fizzling out before it gets to us. So we might see a little bit drizzling every now and again from about lunchtime onwards. But we just have to wait and see how that goes. Odium, their TAF is forecasting 320 degrees 5 knots, greater than 10k visibility, broken at 1400 feet with a 30% chance at between 9 and 11 o'clock. Visibility down to about 6 kilometers and light rain and drizzle. With some mist, scattered cloud at 600 feet, broken at 1,000 feet, and then a 30% chance that from 4 o'clock onwards, clouds or scattered cloud at about 600 feet. Farnborough, their TAF is forecasting 340 degrees 6 knots, greater than 10k visibility, broken at 1,200 feet, and then temporarily between now and 12 o'clock, visibility down to 5 kilometers and light rain and drizzle, broken at 800 feet, with a 30% chance that between 9 and 11, viz down to 3 kilometers and rain and drizzle with a bit of mist and cloud broken at 400 feet. And then becoming between 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock, broken at 1,600 feet with a 30% chance at between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock this evening. Visibility down to about 7 kilometers in light rain and cloud broken at 1,200 feet. The 1,000-foot wind to the north of us, 030 degrees 10 knots, to the south, 080 degrees 5 knots. Looking at windy, we've got a northerly flow with a little bit of west in it, which will put us on runway 27 today. And it doesn't change much throughout the day, it just goes back round towards more northerly. And that's confirmed in the Met Office local forecast for this area. The winds are 3-4 knots throughout the day, starting off north-northwesterly, going around towards northerly. The suggestion is going to be overcast all day, with very little chance of precipitation. But when you look at the humidity, that's actually up in the 90s until about 3 o'clock this afternoon, when it finally gets down into the 80s. GFS then are forecasting temperatures around about lunchtime to be in the region of 3 degrees centigrade, with the dew point down at about 3 as well, which tends to suggest it's going to be a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, a lot of mist and cloud. Currently here at Lasham, we have 2 degrees centigrade with the dew point just above 0. and having a quick look at the camera on the south side. This was taken just before 9 o'clock. You can see we've got a bit of sort of mist and haze low down. We've got that low cloud. We'll just look at the latest. I'll just refresh that. You can see very little change in the last 10 minutes. And if we move on to SkySight, they're also forecasting low cloud throughout most of the day, with a little gap in the afternoon of about half an hour to an hour there, where cloud base lifts up a little bit. Top Meteo, if we run this through from 9 o'clock, hour on hour, and looking at the Lasham area, we can see we've got cloud down at about 1,000 feet, and there's a bit of upper cloud comes in with that as well. So just running that throughout the day. Cloud base may go up a bit from 1,000 feet, but it's not going to go up much. And that bit of blue sky is around about 5 o'clock, just as the darkness are starting to approach. No TAMs then. If we have a look at the map here, there's 14 here, which is Oakhanger, 25, which is Burfield, and 26 is Welford. They're all rats, which are there for the exclusion of unmanned aerial systems, or drones, as we probably know them better. 17 is Winchester. There's live firing there. The danger height has been raised up to 1,100 feet AMSL. 18 and 19 is over at Rushmore. They've got flares and illuminance from about 5 onwards. 22 out to the west is Everley. That's Delta 128 is active. 23 is Ash Ranges. Delta 132 is active. And 24, this little one right in here, just to the northeast of us. That's Camberley. I wouldn't worry too much about that. It doesn't start until 1900 hours, so we'll be well ensconced in the music club and in the bar by then, I would imagine. So let's have a quick look then at the local airfield briefing, and we'll start with the usual Odium cross-section. So my big concern here is these descriptions: broken overcast strata Q, broken overcast strata Q, both early and late on in the day. It's the overcast bits that are probably going to stop us from doing proper winch launching. And beneath that, there's some scattered sort of stratus, which is going to be around temporarily in the morning up until about 11 o'clock, and then from about 3:30, 4 o'clock onwards. So we might get this gap in the middle, but we can sort of winch launch up to about 1,000 feet into winch launch failures, or sort of poor weather circuits. Moving on then, the booking list, we've got 2 K21s for booked instructional flying. There's 1 K21 on the casual list. Trial lessons, I'm going to cancel. There is single seat availability on all single seaters. There's 3 people on the casual list, one of whom is a visitor. He did solo in the UK. He does fly in Holland now. He's come back to do a little bit of flying here, and unfortunately, he hasn't passed his air law yet, so in theory we cannot send him solo, but he's probably a very capable pilot. So let's look after him, make him feel welcome. And of course, we've got the simulator available as per usual. There are a couple of movements today. There's supposed to be a maintenance check flight on a Beech 350. There was a flight plan put in, but I've not had any confirmation of times for departure and arrival back at Lasham. So we'll just play that one by ear. General situation today then is there's low pressure east of Lowestoft, occlusions to the east of Lasham, low cloud throughout the day. We'll be on runway 27, hard, cables on the boom to the south side, area towing to the north side if we do get the tug out. The grass is soft to firm, but you can land either side of 27 on the grass, but please avoid using the wheel brake unless it's absolutely necessary. And of course, please do not land or taxi on the disused runways, which are shown here in red. And please clean the gliders at the end of the day. So here's the setup. Launch point vehicle will be just to the north of the centre line in here. Area towing to the north, winch launching to the south, cables down the side of the runway, and landing on the grass. That's pretty much it from me today. I shall see you out at the launch point shortly, where we can go and do a bit of flying. Let's have a lot of fun, but please keep it safe. Thanks. Bye bye.